All of these surprises keep ruining my head. Can we now just claim it and call it what it is? You did a number on me. You pulled the runner on me. I will say that I might have let you down, but who did the letting down first? Everybody told me to back off now, but I could only see you get burnt. All over the news mentions of you. I spend my time nursing my wounds, wounds being you. Come on, can we finally say it like it is? Admit it, you like winning if it means beating me. Baby, you relish in fighting, but I'm searching for peace. This time I let you in, but you saw the last of me. You saw the last of me tonight. Good luck. You saw the last of me tonight. You saw the last of me tonight. Good luck. You saw the last of me tonight. You saw the last of me tonight. Good luck. You saw the last of me tonight. You saw the last of me tonight. Good luck. You saw the last of me tonight. You needed me to be there, at least that's what you said. You try to comfort me, but I just want you dead. You swept me off of my feet, then you turn round and cheat. Oh baby, you have said that I wanted war and crime, but I just wanted you. Everybody told me you're not the one, but I just had this urge to race to love and to win first place. Who knew my soul would disappear? Oh, with no trace. Say it like it is. Come on, can we finally say it like it is? You like winning if it means beating me. Maybe you relish in fighting, but I'm searching for peace. This time I let you in, but you saw the last of me. You saw the last of me tonight. Good luck. You saw the last of me tonight. You saw the last of me tonight. Good luck. You saw the last of me tonight. You saw the last of me tonight. Good luck. You saw the last of me tonight. You saw the last of me tonight. Good luck. You saw the last of me tonight. Oh baby,
It's P's story, baby.
These niggas out here asking for an OnlyFans page. Now turn around and put it on him, I gotta be honest. He wanna see how low I can go. His homie's cousin Fred said he met me before I was putting that thing on the floor. Out with my friends, making my knees work. Damn, my ass needs a W2. He asked if I take crypto for payment, trying to see what that thing could do. Got a king bag for the big boss, got a fat ass and that shit's off. I'm a bad bitty with a splash kitty, good heart and big ass titties. Miss Freaky, I'm real nasty, get down and dirty in any weather, cause it's wet, make him keep sweating. I'll make that shit last forever.
Shorty get low, she hit a vibe, she get on live and get on the floor. Camera on, watch a GoPro, ass in the air, that's plane mode. Getting money, that's bankroll. She want the first, that's tank mode. Go big, go big, go. Watch it drop it low, look a big go. Go, star, hello,
Get it,
no, hello. I love it when you get boss, hello. Now turn around and put it on, hello.
You know that's right, talk my shit, I'm fine. I'm LeBron with the heat, I'm D-Rose in his prime. Now tune in to story time, junk in the trunk, but I'm so drunk. Bad bitch on Broadway, bringing the noise, bringing the funk. So lean with it, rock with it, scream when I'm dropping it. Kept his grills on, so now he blinging when he topping it. Top of the line, top of the pole, top of the charts. Give me the dough and I'ma get lit, I'ma get turned, I'ma get naughty, I'ma get low.
Shorty get low, she hit a vibe, she get on live and get on the floor. Camera on, watch a GoPro, ass in the air, that's plane mode. Getting money, that's bankroll. She want the first, that's tank mode. Go big, go big, go. Watch it drop it low, look a big go. Go, star, hello. No, hello. I love it when you get boss, hello. Now turn around and put it on, hello.
get it, 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 get it.
I've been getting wasted. Drinking strong, but I still like the way it tasted. On the roof, I feel the bounce inside the basement. At the fire, breathe it in rotation. Liquor motivation. I've been getting wasted. Drinking strong, but I still like the way it tasted. On the roof, I feel the bounce inside the basement. At the fire, breathe it in rotation. Liquor motivation. Rum and Corona and gin, maybe a Jameson made with a twist. Live for the vibe, I ain't here for a wish. Can't find a drink that my lips haven't kissed. Softly moan on the rim, drowning in love with the liquor I swim. Not alcoholic, but I like to binge. And even if I might come straight off the hinge, and I know I can settle for nothing but everything. I could try anything off of enough of the stuff. Maybe go throw me a party at 6 in the morning on top of a memory bus. Ugly the word on the other side, so what a tragedy. I keep my energy up. It's Longo Bombada, Hakuna Matata. Let's call downing a Hennessy cup. I've been getting wasted. Drinking strong, but I still like the way it tasted. On the roof, I feel the bounce inside the basement. At the fire, breathe it in rotation. Liquor motivation. I've been getting wasted. Drinking strong, but I still like the way it tasted. On the roof, I feel the bounce inside the basement. At the fire, breathe it in rotation. Liquor motivation. I came here for that twisted sound. I'm into getting lost, not into being found. And I'm tripping, stumbling on the ground, but I ain't got no shame, let's get another round. Cause I can't walk straight, but I'm feeling fine. At least I didn't drive, at least I'm still alive. I can feel my face, but I won't inside. Let's rage it out till 5 to tell the truth. I've been getting wasted. Drinking strong, but I still like the way it tasted. On the roof, I feel the bounce inside the basement. At the fire, breathe it in rotation. Liquor motivation. I've been getting wasted. Drinking strong, but I still like the way it tasted. On the roof, I feel the bounce inside the basement. At the fire, breathe it in rotation. Liquor motivation. I've been getting wasted.
I like what you got.
Yeah, girl, I swear I hate this job. All I do is sit here and pick up phones all day. See? There's somebody go right now. Hold on. Hello? Yeah, sure. I'll put you through right now. 1 minute.
Yeah, I am not doing this shit for no hobby. I promise stay on my body. If she pulling up to the crib uninvited, then she gon' get left in the lobby. What the fuck is a pop-up? I was too focused on running my stock up. Fuck up a bag, put the rest on the lock-up. Hey, when they think that they really gon' stop us, like bitches, you stupid and dumb. Stay down cause I knew it would come. So how did I do what I can? And she mad cause I do what I want. Got homies with tools and they play with the drums. I'm calling, they ready to dump. It's obvious they envy the stunt. They think that I do this for fun, but this shit not a game. Saying I'm different but nothing's the same. If you don't know me, don't speak on my name. Niggas singing, I thought they was gang. Got some secrets that I take to the grave. Paying homage cause the road was paved, but nobody said it be easy. He mad cause his girl being treachy. If it's beef that I'm doing, I'm greasy. Niggas be burgers, flip them. Hey, I curve and clip them. Close on my eyes when I hop in the booth. All I'm seeing is murder victims. That's just a few thoughts. Play me a beat, I'm up in the torch. And well, of course, I leave that shit scores. She keep that shit pushing without no remorse. Please hold.
All of our representatives are currently busy. Please stay on the line, and your call will be answered by the next available representative. The estimated hold time is currently less than 96 minutes.
I just say out of the way. Niggas is out of their minds. Living, I die every day. That probably went up and behind. But I cannot call it. 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 Why is you calling? I just say out of the way. Bitches is out of their minds. Living, I die every day. That probably went up and behind. But I cannot call it. 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 Why is you calling? I just say out of the way. Niggas is out of their minds. Living, I die every day. That probably went up and behind. But I cannot call it. 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 I cannot
Took a look right at myself, had to step out of my own thoughts, at my own thoughts, at my own thoughts. Showing love, I always end up the worst off as one. Oh no, love, oh no. When I took a breath and I done felt a revive, I was way inside my open mind. All that time spent in the mirror, I done realized solve my problems, you was by my side. So don't go, so don't go. If it's really you and I, know that I'm gon' hold it down for you, bitch, till the day I die. What did I feel for your love, babe? I thought it was suicide. You helped me revive, you helped me revive. And as I look at myself, I create my own hell, starting a fire in my eyes. I can't do this myself, babe, I need your help. Sometimes I don't know what's wrong or right. Took a look right at myself, had to step out of my own thoughts, at my own thoughts, at my own thoughts. Showing love, I always end up the worst off as one. Oh no, love, oh no. When I took a breath and I done felt a revive, I was way inside my open mind. All that time spent in the mirror, I done realized always solve my problems, you was by my side. I'm too selfish, I'm in love with myself, and it's paining me to say that you're on the shelf. There's a part of me that takes back all of the hell that I put you through. I'm putting you right back in your shell, but I still got you on my side. I don't know how. When I call you, never decline. That's better help. It ain't easy for me saying that. I said I love you, say it back. Driving you miles and you ain't never switching lanes fast. Ain't no one for the tainted hearted. Let's remember what we both started. Ain't no room for the ones that's parted. If there's a chance, then we should mark it. Took a look right at myself, had to step out of my own thought, at my own thought, at my own thought. Showing love, I always end up the worst off as one. Oh no, love, oh no. When I took a breath and I done felt a revive, I was way inside my open mind. All that time spent in the mirror, I done realized solve my problems, you was by my side.
Some things you gotta talk about. Some things are better left unsaid. But I'ma say it though. When it's on for you, then it's on for me. But under pressure you fold. Tell me why you gotta do me so cold. Do my right to take a step to the right. You get left out of spite. Tell me why you gotta do me so cold. There's no doubt, if I rock with you, I ride with you. It's the motto that I live by, it's God-given. I never fake, cause if I'm with you, I'm always there. You make the call about the fold, then my hand is near. I never waver, but to me it's not reciprocated. By the ones who need it most for me to run and save it. Captain save a hope, more like go save a bro. But when the bros are not a bro, they get left alone. So fuck them, cause when it's real smoke, I'm never ducking. And I mean what I say, no, I'm never bluffing. They know it, cause when it's on, they was there for it. But on the good side, it's bad, now they can't ignore it. You're not exempt from the consequences of dumb shit. Playing stupid games, stupid prizes where they come with. So why you change on me? And why you hate on me? And why you play with me? I'm still the same OG. It's on for you, and it's on for me. But under pressure you fold. Tell me why you gotta do me so cold. Am I right to take a step to the right? You get left out of spite. Tell me why you gotta do me so cold. It's on for you, and it's on for me. But under pressure you fold. Tell me why you gotta do me so cold. Am I right to take a step to the right? You get left out of spite. Tell me why you gotta do me so cold. You needed me, made it seem I needed you. But you blind blind to the fact, and it's clear it's never true. Screw these motherfuckers showing up with their hand out. Me being me, I try to help them see they plan out. Me, I give them names, and me, I show them game. It's me who go get played when they see a little fame. Dog, I blow this whole shit up, there's nothing to rebuild. I really don't care, so these snakes should've chilled. I put them on ice if you thinking that it's cool. They push me to the edge, not thinking I will move. You the company you keep, I sell this shit solo. You only had a ticket, you can't sell this cruise no more. I'm done with all that brother talk, save it for the other side. From this day forward, you equal to them other guys. It's fuck how you feel, so save it for the bitches. To make it quite clear, you never cross this bridge again. When it's on for you, then it's on for me. But under pressure you fold. Tell me why you gotta do me so cold. Am I right to take a step to the right? You get left out of spite. Tell me why you gotta do me so. It's on for you, then it's on for me. But under pressure you fold. Tell me why you gotta do me so cold. Am I right to take a step to the right? You get left out of spite. Tell me why you gotta do me so cold. Why? Tell me, gotta so cold. Tell me, so cold.
Back when I was trying to think rich, way before my fam crossed that bridge, I was a kid. Block party, stickball, Royal Rumble slick. Hooping on milk crates, we turned into rims. Way before I owned a pair of Timbs, I was rocking Payless. Hand-me-downs had me looking fresh, I'm like, say less. I did it all, when I was done I wanted more. Stealing gum from Blockbuster and cookies from the candy store. I swear on the Bible, was never into comics. I was more into wrestling and who held the title. Those were my idols, I tried to be alike. Getting in trouble for all these wrestling strikes. Let it be told that back then we used to dial numbers without an area code. That telephone was in the kitchen, my parents got pissy. It cost for call waiting, so that line was always busy, I remember. Yo, back when those juices was a quarter, way before my fam crossed that water, I was a kid. Skate keys, Skelsies, games before bed, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, like Big said, You know what was cool those hot days the block came out. We used the fire hydrant as our pool. Mom put us in day camp. We didn't stay in the streets bowling. The Bronx Zoo, everything we did was sweet. Without an ounce of stress and no bills to pay. My only worry was getting in trouble and what games to play. We didn't have FaceTime, we had curfew. We didn't have cell phones, we were too young to know anything other than having fun. I used to ring the doorbells of neighbors, then I would run. I was bad. Freeze tag, laser tag, stealing sticker magnets off the back of cabs just for laughs. Oh man, I remember.
Y el corazón, el cerro. no hay razón ni adoración. No pares.
The truth, I don't know if it's special. Only you gonna know that from the time of pray. It ain't gonna come overnight. You're gonna take a beat, you're gonna take this, you're gonna get knocked out, you're gonna get up, and you're gonna see if you got the right guy.
When I hit you like better watch out for your job. It'll be the best shot that you saw. When I hit you like hits you like when I hit you like best protect your neck and jaw. When you fall they're all apart. When I hit you like hits you like when I hit you like you won't see me coming, face you can't escape. So while you're running, something like a bullet, I'm supposed to gun it. Can't pull the trigger when I already done it. Or hate it, I'm losing patience. That's just what keeps me motivated. That sleeps a cousin so they're related. You can stay asleep if you the piece of data. Say I'm no longer the person I was. Activate, start joking above. You see, you lost my respect, so I'm not touching the gloves. The thing is, I'm usually peaceful, but believe when push comes to shove, I no longer believe that we're equals. You'll find out that I'm not the one. Better watch out for your job. It'll be the best shot that you saw. When I hit you like hits you like when I hit you like could knock me out, but if I'm not dead, then you better believe I'm gonna get it again. It's the wrong side breathing, I got this end. Cause I'm fighting that creed until it's the end. Instead I got nothing left, I never accepted my L. My held, I've been put to the test. I was never born with the nest on my chest. Had to fight on screen, just sit with the best. I run my stripes, had to learn to fight. Who are you to judge? You ain't earned the right. I did the overnights and suffer overnight. Despite that, you act like your old is life. You don't know this cost, this life is earned through struggle and loss. Everybody wants to become the boss, and so they learn what it means to take charge. You be in the ring and all the dome. If you lose, you're on your own. But if you win, they bring the throne. It's what they when there's nowhere you can go. Don't you flinch and don't you fold. Stand there toe to toe. When I hit you better watch out for your job. It'll be the best shot that you saw. When I hit you like hits you like when I hit you like best protect your neck and jaw. When you fall they're all apart. When I hit you like hits you like when I hit you like.
So, Snapple fact, Knowte did a reel to try to promote this song, right? Where he stubbed his toe and literally later that day, running after Mello, I fucking stubbed my toe and I just thought of the song automatically.
I'm glad it's relatable.
And now
you know?
I can never forget the song, mind you, even though Mike had drilled it into my head the moment it came out.
That's awesome.
That's how you know you got a good man.
Yeah, nah, he takes care of me.
Yo, shout out to MLM Entertainment. This is like the last of our MLM Takeover, MLM Production Takeover, the Rawrrzone, all of February. It's lit. We had the Super Bowl. We had all of this good shit. We had pizza. You know, what more could we have right now? But of course, as per usual, it's your homegirl, Ivy. We're here with our guest today. Knowte. You could catch us everywhere at www.rawrzonenyc.com. Mondays, 8 p.m. Shit. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Twitch, since we no longer stream from our website, but you could catch past episodes on our website. You could catch us Tuesday on... Oh my god. That was the wrong one. Sorry. Tuesday on Elgin Sound Radio. Live on the Live 365 app and on our website, www.rawrzonenyc.com at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we head to Ohio early in the morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with Pulse 82.3 FM. Artists, if you want to get paid for your music to be aired on the radio, you do your research. Like, you can actually get paid for that. Hit a promo god and she'll show you the way. Ask her about Pulse 82.3 FM promotion packages and more. Tell them KDK sent you. We are powered by Bold and Luscious Cosmetics. Shop bold with Rawrrzone. If you didn't get your girl a gift for Valentine's Day, I feel sorry for you, dog. You got 99 problems, but a gift is definitely one of them. Go shop bold with Rawrrzone. Use the code RZ15 off. Tell them KDK sent you. My 420 heads, while you listen to this interview, I hope you're using Just Blaze organic hemp and living the high life with us. I mean, we're currently sober at the moment, but, you know, we'll be getting high later. So use Just Blaze organic hemp. Follow them on Instagram. Tell them Katie sent you. Whew. Without further ado, I'm not going to even act like we're the same age because he already confirmed you're like at least 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So, we here with the young boy originally from New Hampshire.
That's right.
Made his way to Jersey. I don't know why.
Hey, it's a long story. You know, I was in New Hampshire for like 17 years of my life. And then literally, does it suck in New Hampshire?
Yes.
As a kid, no. From like ages, like, because I moved there, I was born in like Massachusetts, so we moved to New Hampshire when I was 6.
Okay.
And then I was there from 6 to when I went to college. And as a kid, from like 6 to like 12, 13, it's not bad. There's a lot of room for kids to, you know, do things, playground, stuff like that. Be a kid. A lot of space, go into the woods. I had like tree forts and all that stuff. So I was like in the woods a lot as a kid. And then, but when you become a teenager is when, you know, you get bored. Things get, you know, you get bored as teenagers because there's not really a lot there. So that's when teens can start to end up getting into trouble. I had a lot of friends that got involved with things they probably shouldn't have and stuff like that, just out of sheer boredom. If there's not a lot going on in the town, if there's not a constant activity, you're going to find something that is going to occupy your time, even if it's not good for you. Especially when you're a teen, you're searching for purpose. So that's really what ended up happening. So I would say from like 6 to like 13, it's great. After that, like, wait till retirement age. There's nothing in New Hampshire really to do.
So you left at 6 or you left at 13?
I moved to New Hampshire when I was 6. I left New Hampshire when I was 18 to go to college. Okay. I went to college in Connecticut.
Sound engineering.
Yeah, audio engineering. Yeah. So I went to school in Connecticut for audio engineering. Got my degree there at the University of Hartford, which was a great experience, and primarily where I got my musical start. Was the University of Hartford. There was a lot of, you know,
later on, not like in your teenage years.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, every story, although the official start may have been later in life, it's a life journey in its whole being. So, really, my story kind of predates my birth, and what I mean by that is my father pursued music before I was born. He was pursuing music under the name PhD, which was an acronym of Poetry Highly Dangerous. So he was doing his thing in the music industry, and he ended up getting my mother pregnant with me at the time. And so he was...
That was a good idea.
Yeah. Thank you. You know, I'm happy I'm here. And so he was left with a hard choice. He was left with a choice to decide between, do I pursue music, which could have a lot of ups and downs? You know, there's not a guaranteed income. There's not a guaranteed way I can support my now budding family. Or do I take the hustle that I've learned from music, from his background, you know, growing up in the inner city and stuff like that? Does he take that hustle mentality and apply it to an office job and learn how to hustle for his family in a more, you know, secure standpoint?
Or did he do both?
He ended up pursuing the white collar corporate America thing, and hanging up his music. But he always kept his equipment. Like, he didn't know why, he didn't know whatever, but he kept his equipment the entire time. So as I was growing up, I would hear his CDs, I would hear these things. He introduced me to hip hop a lot, showing me like a bunch of old school artists. K Solo was one of the biggest ones that he showed me to a lot. EPMD, that whole thing. And essentially, as I got older and I was trying to find myself, my first equipment that I used was his microphone. I used his microphone that he used when.
That's symbolic.
Yeah. So it came full circle. It was like gathering dust in the closet, and I ended up approaching him around 16, being like, you know, I need something that's a greater purpose right now. I don't really know what's my stance in the world, but music is calling me. Let me try to dive into this and experiment with this. So he was like, okay, you know, I have equipment. He gave me his microphone. I did some research, got my first DAW, which was FL Studio, and then just started recording my voice. But I didn't start releasing until I was 18. And prior to that, I was doing spoken word. So it was a whole journey, you know, from, you know, when my dad did to when I picked it up. And yeah, so like, although my official start as Knowte started at 18, I would say that journey predates well before that. So
I gotta ask, because I read about the PhD part, and the first thing that came to mind was he rapping like John Cena, Thugonomics?
Nah. He was definitely trying to do like which makes sense for his for you know how he grew up. He's definitely caught up in the 90s era, like gangster rap. That's, you know, where he grew up, how he grew up, what he was involved in when he was growing up. Like, so for him, that was him portraying, you know, his background and stuff like that. So it's like very aggressive, 90s gangster rap. And yeah, that's really what he ended up doing, which is kind of ironic that he did that. And then I end up coming out like an alternative hip hop rock, you know, artist.
Well, we've been alternative hip hop though, or you kind of dabbled in the boom bap a little bit?
I did dabble in the boom bap a little. You know, I re-fell in love with hip hop. So I guess let me backtrack. So I was born in, again, I'm going to make you feel, I'm sorry. I was born in 98. So I'm 20, I'm 25, going to be turning 26 in February 26th.
Well, at least you're not 21 like I thought you were.
Yeah, you were over there. You're like, are you 21? I'm like, I'm going to mess with her right now. But yeah, so I growing up in that era, the music that was really centered in the early 2000s was, you know, like Aftermath records. Like you had 50 Cent, you had Eminem, Lloyd Banks, G Unit. Like I even had like a G Unit spinning medallion. Like that's how heavy I was into it. My brother, yeah. My brother had the G Unit sneakers. Like we were just decked out. We loved everything, you know, 50 Cent, Eminem, and that whole era. I started falling out of love of hip hop after that era. It just didn't really speak to me as much. And that's when I started to fall into the alternative, you know, crowd. My mom showed me Evanescence. Yes, great band. Obviously, Bring Me to Life was the big record at the time.
Did you ever hear so there's an album that was put, I want to say, right before the pandemic, between 2018 and 2019.
I was hearing that they were putting something.
They put, and not an acoustic, but they put with an orchestra. They played all of their songs.
That's so cool.
So like, My Heart Is Broken,
yeah,
Your Life, Don't Cry, Call Me When You're Sober, Lacrimosa, all of the biggest hits played with an orchestra band.
That's beautiful.
You know,
yeah.
And to hear the original version of how Bring Me to Life was supposed to be, because at that era, she didn't even want dude from Linkin Park to be in it. She wanted it to just be her, but because of the era that it was, they put him in. But when you hear the song without him, with just her voice, it is so powerful.
Is it on like YouTube or something? Like where can I?
If you look up Synthesis from Evanescence,
okay,
it's like their greatest hits on crack.
That's awesome.
Like, I never was so impressed, but it also shows that Amy Lee is fucking godlike.
100%.
She needs to be protected at all costs.
Yeah.
Her voice is amazing.
No, for real. And that's so cool that, like, she translated it into, like, its rawest form with, like, an orchestra. Like, the violins were crazy. Yeah. Well, you feel it when you hear her voice. Like, you feel that emotion, that intensity. So when you hear first off, Detroit won. I'm happy. Let's go. So
But because this is pre-recorded, they did not win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Just make this.
yeah. So far they're okay. Maybe later I'll be crying. I don't know. But yeah, no, that's so cool that they stripped it back like that and accompanied her in that way. I guess to pull back, so like the alternative thing. So Mom showed me Evanescence, and then as I got older, I was heavily into Linkin Park. So when Chester passed away, that one really hit hard for me. And then through high school, I had a friend named Joy that really pushed me in that direction because growing up, I was oftentimes bullied. New Hampshire is a primarily white state. It's actually, ironically enough, I think one of the top 10 whitest states in the country. Yeah. So me being biracial at that time, I was oftentimes targeted. I was even called like the N-word on the bus once by like this random white kid and all that stuff. So I was oftentimes targeted. I didn't understand all that stuff. And then the fact that I wasn't into the mainstream, that also put a target on me. But I had this one friend named Joy that was like, nah, there's people like you and people like me who are into this sort of thing. Let me show you. So she showed me a bunch of new bands, Pierce the Veil, A Day to Remember, State Champs, Issues, who else? There was Sleeping with Sirens.
The one they used to sing, I Just Want to Run? Downtown Fiction.
Yes. So she showed me like a bunch of bands, and I fell in love with the energy. I fell in love with what they were speaking about, and most of all, I fell in love with the culture. It was a culture of people that could be accepted, and in that deep dive, I ended up finding a band that inspired me to make music for myself and realize like, okay, this is what I want to do. The feeling that music is giving me of having a safe space to be able to feel like I'm part of something larger than myself. I want to do the same with my music. And that band was 21 Pilots. One of the first songs I heard from them was Car Radio. And it was the first song that I picked up a keyboard and learned. So like that band inspired me to be like, you know what? You gave me such a safe space when I was at my lowest, as a teenager, feeling like the world is ending. You don't know where you stand. Your parents don't understand you. You're not sure what your next step is because I grew up, I went into engineering. I grew up a fairly smart kid, but they wanted me to go into the medical field. I didn't want to do that. I was into the arts. They also were pushing me towards football. I grew up playing football. I wasn't. Yeah. I wasn't a 5-star athlete. Yeah. They killed it. But I wasn't a 5-star athlete either. But what did give me a spot was music. So the fact that did that for me, that's my inspiration for everything I do, with what I do with my music, is to make, people feel heard and create a larger community, and a home for people that might not have, a home or a place that they can feel heard,
So I could definitely relate to the being bullied part and listening to all that music. Do you wish there was more resources like they have now, since bullying has been such a major topic?
Yeah.
Don't you wish that they kind of used some of that stuff for us back then?
100%. I think a lot of people back then, the mindset was like, oh, being bullied is a rite of passage. That, you look at the major heroes in the world, especially one of the biggest one in the world right now, which is awesome, growing up as a Spider-Man kid. But like Spider-Man, you look at Peter Parker, like he was bullied, he was the nerd, shoved in lockers, all that stuff. And he was a superhero that everyone adored. Like you could grow to be something bigger than yourself. So like they did try to tell that story and just try to tell you to like buck up and persevere. Especially when you're a dude and you're not really able to express emotion, like you're being picked on, well then punch him in the face. Well,
and you don't understand why you're feeling like this either.
Exactly. And not knowing like the fact that the reason I was being targeted was primarily because of the way I looked. You know, being a mixed kid in a predominantly white area, I was just being targeted, and I didn't know, because you're like 6, 7 years old. Then all of a sudden, another 70-year-old calls you the N-word, and it's like, that's wild.
I mean, unless you tell them you're biracial, no one. I didn't know. I read about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, well, you just remind me of another.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
How do they even know at 6, 7 years old you're biracial?
They well, you know, one, like I played sports in the town. One, most likely from their parents. I guess I'll start there. Most likely from their parents, because there were some passive things they did in that town. Like, you know, so me and my family would roll up at whatever function, and there was like 2, maybe 3 black families in the entire town, and they would instantly say, "Oh, do you know the Robinsons?" And we'd be like, "Who are the Robinsons?" And that's the only other black family, you know. So they did passive things like that. Like, so my assumption is that whatever was being talked at home is what was carried on with the child, because no child speaks that way.
Yeah,
no child knows that.
Racism isn't genetic.
It's taught. It's a taught behavior, 100%. But yeah, on the resources, like, I do wish there were some resources back then, but I understand for the time, people again saw it as a rite of passage. You're either gonna punch them in the mouth or you're gonna be bullied the rest of your life. I was a fighter. I was a fighter when I was in elementary school. I was a big fighter. I basically had to fight my way through elementary school. I would like to think I did with my tiny, you know, 4th grade fist.
But did you have the spikes with it?
Nah, I wasn't about that just yet. But yeah, but then I fought so much that I was told, like, oh, if you continue to react and respond this way, you could end up with like a record with the school system and with the police system that could prevent you from, you know, going to high school. Like, you're a smart kid, like this isn't that. That could stop you from doing those things. So I was like, okay.
If you feel that way, why didn't you protect me?
100%.
That's the school's job.
Yeah.
And even up to today, right? Mm-hmm. It is the school's job when you go there at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning to make sure you're safe.
Yeah, 100%.
And these kids are getting bullied.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're talking about college too. Don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
Bullied. God forbid you remember the kid in Rutgers that got caught. Like he was caught having gay sex and they filmed him and he killed himself.
And he offed him,
Okay, or you have the kids that will get bullied, like the one in the Bronx. They didn't know how to hold a gun, but somehow managed to bring a gun to school and shoot someone's head off, and he's the one that's arrested after being bullied.
Yeah.
They have guidance counselors, but they don't talk about, like, we know now about mental illness.
100%.
Because we suffered all the generational trauma that came with the bullshit.
Yeah.
And now we have, like, not saying we have, but like bipolar disorder, borderline personality traits, high levels of anxiety, depression, and you're normalizing it now. But back then, for our parents, when that shit was voodoo, and
it was voodoo.
You hear crying your fucking eyes out, but the school did not fucking doing nothing about it.
Yeah, nah. You were either told to, essentially, I was told to either buck up or shut up. Like, either are you gonna punch him in the mouth and suffer the consequences, or are you gonna essentially, you know, just try to ignore to the best of your ability? And that was like their response was like, oh, just ignore, because if you give a reaction, that's what they want. So then I was like, okay, I was told not to give a reaction, so I didn't. So I bottled a lot of that in, and it ended up essentially segueing me, you know, through high school. I bought a lot of that in, and there was a moment, I can't remember the moment specifically, so even back then, like, I guess it didn't really even matter, but when you're a high school kid constantly being antagonized, it feels like a lot. And so I had this one friend that I was like, okay, I'm having the worst day. Like, I failed my test. You know, I have no friends. I have no this. You know, my girl at the time, like, left me for another dude. Like, all this stuff. And so, but I had one friend that was that was always there for me. And so I made like a joke on the bus. and he didn't respond. He actually got mad at me, and it for some reason was like a trigger for me. Yeah. And I ended up being like, I need to leave the situation, and I ended up punching the bus window, and it shattered in my lap. And the sense of relief that I felt, but the sense of panic right after was insane. The good thing is that I think in that moment, and I bring it up for this reason, I think in that moment, that's when the school system and my parents realized their response of just ignore was not enough. Because how my father responded was actually saying, one, let's make sure you're not expelled. One, let's figure that out. Two, why did you do it and what do you need? And I told him I had no outlet. And so that's when he went out and he bought me my first keyboard. That's when the whole music thing really started. That's when he grabbed the microphone and said, okay, you've been writing poetry, you're really into music, like Dad, I want to write music. So he got me my keyboard, and that was his response to it. And the school even saw that and was like, you're such a quiet and reserved kid and such a nice kid to everybody that I'm surprised that's why you felt you needed to respond that way. So they also supported my arts. They actually pushed me into other clubs and stuff like that. And I guess that's why I say, like, I wish and I hope and I'm happy to see that there are programs out there for people who do feel outcasted. They can go to creative writing courses. They can go to, these groups and stuff like that where they feel like there's a community and there's a home. I know not many people may not have the response that my father had, but I'll always hold high respect for him that was how he responded. He did not, he did yell at me and then like he shredded me pretty hard. But then responded with, okay, but just by shredding you, you're not going to learn anything from this. So what can I do to put you on the right path? And music was that. And it's been everything to me ever since. Like, if you ever see me perform, like, I black out because that's where all the energy that I hold inside. I'm a very calm, cool, and collected kid, but that's where all the energy that I hold inside is released, is in the record, is in the performance, and all that stuff. And I think people see it. It's very passionate performance. Like, I love performing for that reason.
Not to say I didn't connect both with Lady Bree and Mix, but when searching you, honestly, I felt more connected towards you. And maybe that's why, when life hits you, became such a, like, it's in my playlist. It's not going nowhere.
That's awesome.
I, going back on mental health, I come from a very strict Greek family. Didn't understand the concepts of mental health, right? So when I was 7, my dad passed away from cancer, and my whole family pretty much hid it from me.
Oh, wow.
Like his whole diagnosis, So you being a kid, and then out of nowhere, your dad
just gone.
He just gone.
Yeah.
Like, he's here talking to you the night before on some, like, I need you to remember to take care of your family, this and that. You not understand.
You need, to him, that was his goodbye, but to you, you're just like, okay, yeah. Yeah, of course.
And I could always recall, like, my teacher that I'm still cool with up until this day, right? Always said after that, I became very reserved. Until someone called me a fucking orphan and I flipped.
Of course.
Mind you, my mom is alive, but she's always working.
Yeah, so
she had to provide for me.
Yeah.
So I got mad. Mind you, this kid's still one of my he was one of my closest friends for a long time. Kind of punched him and almost pushed him down the stairs.
Yeah.
And
right, like, a fair response.
I was like, why'd you do that? I'm like, because he's called me an orphan because my daddy died and my mommy is not there for me.
Yeah.
Like, and because I went to a Greek school, instead of teaching me what I did wrong, I was condemned. Like, your daughter's on the verge of suspension, calling child services because my mom did something. No. But it's your job. Like, they put me to these fucking therapy courses in school, and we were playing board games. What the fuck is playing a board game?
Yeah, it's not going to do anything. Like, it's not going to fix it.
I'm sitting here with kids whose parents died, and I'm just sitting here like, how is this benefiting me? For all of that, I'd rather just be in school doing what I do.
Yeah.
I was taught that when something happens, and And at that point, everyone was just telling me, "Yo, be there for your mom. Take care of her."
Yeah.
That was
but who was there for you?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Essentially.
Exactly.
And that was a constant through life. Now, had we had those people to teach us this, like you got lucky, you had your dad to give you an outlet.
Yeah.
Me, I picked up a camera, but I was doing it not knowing that was my outlet. I was just surviving. You know, because one thing always happened after another, after another, after another. And that's why when, like, you know, I could understand where you come from, where life hits you, because I wish I could understand more of it when you're not screaming on it. But I love it regardless because I am a rockhead. Like, I'm that one white girl in the fucking independent community. You know, now if you look at my Devil's Work playlist, you got ranging from fucking A Day to Remember to Kanye West to fucking Neo. Like, it's such a
cool.
weird fucking playlist. But it'll be the one thing I listen to because I cannot connect nowadays with some of the new music. Like the R&B,
likewise.
Like the R&B is cool. Like when I feel toxic.
Yeah, you gotta itch your toxic bone every now and then. Yeah.
You listen to I'm a big Weeknd fan. Like
yeah. Oh wow.
And then this. Like,
oh wow.
I had my obsession phase and met him 4 times.
That's so cool.
I listened to Tiana Taylor, like really good R&B. You know, I'm a sucker for Capella Gray. I'll admit that's where my toxicness comes from. I'll listen to it, but nothing really connects like your music.
I appreciate that.
That really talks to people because they understand where you come from. I'm just a fucking weirdo in the middle of fucking hip hop scene, but
no, like where you stand is very important. It's very telling because like. This is what I like to say is that like yes you have these pop artists and like people do listen to like these pop artists because they got major push, but the people that really hold the back of the music industry is the independent scene and the millions of independent artists and creatives and people surrounding the independent artists in music, whether it's media and all that stuff, that hold the backbone of the scene. Because what you'll notice is that artists like us will make music that will create a impact and a response, and then the industry, instead of rewarding that, what they'll do is they'll co-opt it, and then now it's a big, you know, pop record and stuff like that, but they don't compensate or care for like the independent artist. You know what I'm saying? So like artists like us, we do hold it down, and I do think it's very important to take care of your local scene because your local scene is what creates the greater scene. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I never thought I'd be doing this. Like, I thought I'd honestly be a photographer forever. And thought that would be my only hustle outside of my 9 to 5, right? But more so with the pandemic, I think I technically not only did Rawrrzone digitally, I took DTF radio that was in Brooklyn before I moved to Florida. And I kept it surviving through the whole pandemic by using StreamYard. You know, and I kind of learned from there. That was like my outlet. I thought it was always photography. You know, photography is such a major part of my life because my 2 uncles introduced me to it. I was in Greece when my uncle, God bless his soul, he took out one of those big bulky cameras for the move, but you actually use it at home. We're in the middle of Corfu in Greece. He's here recording. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that? That's so big.
It's huge.
You know, my mom got sick back in 2006, and I was staying with her brother. You know, my uncle was my dad. My other uncle that died was my dad's brother. And unfortunately, like my uncle, that uncle that I'm talking about now, he gave me my first digital camera because I had too many goddamn disposable cameras. And he like gave me an outlet. He also gave me somewhere to sleep because I was ditching school trying to go home. You know, so he gave me my way to find a footing in life because nobody else was seeing it. And for some reason, the strictest person I know was the one low-key taking care of me. And I didn't realize it because I thought he was just being an angry old man. You know, but you guys gave, like, artists like yourself, Mix, and all the artists I've interviewed over the last 6 years, gave me such a purpose. Because you know how many times I wanted to cancel this shit? Well, I think from the first radio station to DTF, I was like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm not doing this. No. Fuck this. No.
Yeah.
A couple of artists went, yo, do you not understand how you're helping people right now?
Yeah. You're making a huge impact because there's a lot of artists like ourselves. Like I say, like I grew up or was coming up as an artist in an interesting dynamic because I was, which kind of calls back to my background. I was too alt for the hip hop crowd, but I wasn't alt enough for like the indie crowd. So like I sat in a weird vein. So like a lot of shows or media outlets and stuff like that wouldn't put me on. But then you would have individuals like yourself who would take the shot on an independent artist who's doing something different and creating their own lane and not trying to replicate the same flow, same pattern, same music, same just recycled material that everyone is doing. And I'm not going to name names or hate on it. Hey, do what you need to do. If that's your form of artistry, great. That's not my form of artistry. And I'm glad that, there's platforms like yourself that reward that behavior. Because there's not a lot out there. So I'm glad you stuck to it. I am.
I stuck to it too because I wouldn't have known your music.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. This moment wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it really wouldn't have. And I probably wouldn't have spent like X amount of money on podcasts.
Hey, there's a process to everything.
It was worth it. I can't tell if Mick was awake and he turned or if he just turned because he was tired and he turned.
His neck was cranking or something. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just like Locos. But I understand after you telling more into your story why you wrote when life hits you.
Yeah.
Because no one realizes what happens when life really does hit. It hits hard.
That was the point that I was trying to get across. I'm so happy you heard that and that was your takeaway, is because you don't know when life is going to hit you. We all have it's a life. We're going to hit trials and tribulations. There's going to be a moment where we're knocked down. And when it hits you, it's going to hit hard. It's going to hit really hard and in a way that you may not have been prepared for, or at least you didn't think you were prepared for, that you could get past it. And you just got to be willing to stand up and fight back and not give up, because at the end of the day, like, you are still here. You do have the strength to fight back. You do have the strength to keep going. Whether or not you think you do, you do. It just might take time. So be prepared and keep pushing and keep fighting was the message I was going for sure.
So going with that message, did you ever think of possibly maybe being an advocate for mental health issues?
100%. It's been on my list of accomplishments I would definitely like to touch on, and things I would like to contribute to, because I think it is very important. I think mental health is in my opinion, one of the most important things you should focus on, because it's an unseen wound that could last a lifetime. And you might not see it when it happens when they're 6, but I have family members that, something would happen when they're younger and, it wasn't really dealt with in a way that they were able to heal from. And now they're 30 and they weren't able to, get over that hump. And now they're struggling with other issues that, if treated at the time and taken care of in a legitimate fashion, could have helped them in the long run. And people need to realize that mental health is not the same as I have a sickness, I'm sick for now, I have a cold, let me take some vitamin C and I'm good. No, mental health is a constant day-to-day battle and day-to-day task that you need to continually check on. So although you aren't okay now, that doesn't mean you won't be okay later. And although you are feeling okay now, it's still important to check up on yourself and check up on the people next to you. That's the biggest thing, is always check up on the people next to you, because you'd be surprised the amount of people that go, not many people ask me how I'm doing, Yeah.
No one I don't know about you, but no one see me. Like I ask this question a lot because we all go through our own mental.
Yeah.
And part of me just sits there like, yo, but what would have happened if you actually saw me and you saw for example, my brother, because he died from a drug overdose. So it's like, what would have happened if you actually gave us that attention?
Yeah.
That we needed at
that time.
Where everything was falling apart.
Yeah.
You know, would this person still
be here?
You know, I feel like we've had more deaths in the last 5 years than I ever had in my whole life.
Yeah, and what people at least are now starting to touch on, but I don't think anyone could really be prepared for, was the impact COVID did have on mental health, and the loneliness that people did feel that a lot of people just weren't able to recover from, and getting back out into society. Like, you know, my fiance, Aria. Yeah, I'm engaged.
Everyone from Game of Thrones is badass, so anyone who has the same name as her is fucking badass.
Yeah, no, she's pretty hardcore. I'm the nice one. She's the more, let me just say, aggressive, not so nice. She's she's definitely the classic, like, fiery Latina. Very, yes. So definitely holds it down when I can sometimes be a little too nice. And I appreciate that. It's a great balance. Oh damn! Well, where was I even getting from?
Having the people.
Yeah. So I know that in COVID, you know, you spend a lot of time locked in your house as a creative. Like, that could be like a good thing. You know, you're creating a bunch of music and stuff like that. But as things started to open up, you know, as an artist, you need to get back out there while the iron is hot. Everyone is excited to be outside. They want to go to everything, all that stuff. And you know, my fiance Aria, my girlfriend at the time, she was nervous to get back out there because she developed a social anxiety. Because, like, you spend so much time away from people, you're next to the same people every day, all day. If you do interact with people, it's over Zoom. And now all of a sudden, I'm in a room with like 50 to 100 people.
Oh, I snuck out. So I ended up doing PR for DJ, and I snuck out whenever I could to go to Dykeman to smoke weed and listen to him DJ EDM.
Yeah.
And I was okay with that. That was my getaway from this place. Cause,
you needed that?
Bro, I didn't get this place until the end of the pandemic because one of the tenants tried to sublease this place.
Okay.
Like Airbnb type.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My mom found out, and since he wasn't paying rent, she just threw him out.
Okay.
So for like the first, because the pandemic lasted what, almost 2 years?
Yeah, essentially. Like, 2.5, there was bleed over, so yeah.
So like the end of 2020 and 21 was like, I was trapped in a little room. Or it's all, mind you, it was my sanctuary because it was purple. It had all my books. It had all everything I was doing. But I felt like I was locked up, bro. I was just like, yo, I can't wait.
Play some Akon real quick.
Bro, I did. I one time, I got so depressed.
I'm locked up.
I had the music on. My mom goes, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I hate this fucking pandemic, bro. I'm locked in this shit.
Yo, you're doing a 2-year bid. You didn't even know.
I did. I think that's what made my mental worse.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, you were so excited for the first couple of months of it. Just off.
Oh yeah, it was great. Like, I know you guys were touching on a little earlier when Bree was up here, but like, I also graduated straight into the pandemic. So like, I legit, I had my senior project. I was designing a microphone, and to be honest, my partners were doing nothing. So I kind of got lucky with this break. But you know, they were inklings. Like, we went on spring break, and they were like, oh, you know, right before we went on spring break, they're like, oh, there's inklings of this sickness called COVID, this pandemic, you know, whatever. It wasn't even called a pandemic at the time. Like, it's really raging in China. And then I went on spring break, and they were like, oh, we're going to give you an extra week of spring break while we figure things out. So then we're like, okay, cool. 2 weeks of spring break. Let's do this. That 2 weeks lasted like a month. And then we came back, and they said all classes were online. So my senior project, I wasn't able to build a microphone. So saved me. I just had to write the design concepts of what would the microphone have been. But I had to hand in my senior project over Zoom. And then I didn't get a graduation till 2 years later.
it's funny, right? Because I did my master's online.
Yeah.
Because I had that when I went for my master's, I literally broke my arm like 2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
So
that sucks.
Yeah, but they gave me like extensions and like because I only type with one hand. I hate the voice to talk shit because I have a list.
So it doesn't track you that well.
It doesn't track me that well, and I'll say like mozzarella, and I'll say Maserati.
Yeah.
So I'm just like
Maserati.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
So, but my alma mater, because I went away to Iona College for my bachelor's, I did history and communication. And because the alumni were always very much well informed in what's going on. So I didn't take this whole the pandemic seriously because March 14th of 2020, they called me to come into work on a Saturday because at that time I was just like a group leader. I wasn't in the role I am now. So they're like, "Oh, we need some people here." I'm like, "Okay, I'll call. I'll come. I'll make these calls. Talk about program being over for a little bit." Oh, look, he awoke. Like,
yeah.
So I learned something was wrong when I learned I couldn't leave the Bronx.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was more troubling for me because I had just started working in the Bronx 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks prior.
Yeah.
No trains are running at all.
Yeah.
I didn't have my boyfriend at the time who drove. Like we didn't know each other a year later.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, how the fuck am I gonna get home?
Yeah.
My alma mater now. We had this portal. I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay.
We had this portal. How we connect with everyone. The school is shut down. Everyone is being evacuated. No one could get their shit for about a year. They had to leave the dorms.
They were that hardcore with you. Wow.
Not with me.
Yeah.
I had already graduated at the
time.
Oh,
okay.
But they were seeking like alumni assistance trying to help them. And I'm like, how can I help someone that needs to get back to California?
Yeah, like there's not much you can do there.
Like, I'm here making at that time $14 an hour.
Yeah.
Like it was so wild the way that the world changed in an instant. That until now, like I don't think we've ever gone back to like the elastic stretches.
It never snapped. Yeah, no, it definitely changed things in a way that was unseen for a little bit, but now like looking back, like things are just different. Events are different. The attitude is different. How we interact digitally is different. How we socialize is different.
I mean,
like everything.
The audacity is still there in the scene.
If
we're gonna talk about the mannerisms in the beginning was beautiful. Like we all united as an independent entity, right? From the people that used to play the pots and pans for the social workers. To just artists talking about collabing on social media. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was a beautiful thing. Yeah.
We came back from the pandemic and everyone said, fuck your couch.
Yeah.
Coming in thinking I could bring tons of people to every show, but you don't bring one person.
Yeah.
You think your shit is so much better than others. You popping people with guns because, like, rest in peace, Offset. Homie was just playing fucking crabs, bro. And you popped him.
Yeah, no, the attitude definitely became like there was less patience, 100% after the pandemic. And I came to New York in the pandemic, so like I wasn't really privy to.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah. So
you went to Jersey. You decided to live here.
Yeah, so I had my musical, start more so prior to college, but it started to really pick up in college in Connecticut. And then I moved in with, my girl and her family, in the Bronx. So we lived there for like 2 years during the pandemic because we couldn't get jobs because there was no jobs to be had. And so I lived in the Bronx during that time. And that's when I started first stepping out into the scene in New York was 2020, 2021.
You were doing like the Frank Knight shows, right?
The what shows?
Frank Knight shows.
Frank Knight. No.
At the Circle, I heard a lot.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was my very first open mic, which super thankful for her. Her name's Deandra. She saw me post it wasn't even called an Instagram reel at the time. It was just an Instagram video of me rapping one of my songs. And she loved it. So she invited me to her open mic. And that was like in late 2020. They went by Sweet D at the time, but then they later became Camilo Events. So big shout out to you, Deandra, because that's actually where the first time I performed Trust the Process. Was graduated straight pandemic. I haven't really got the opportunity to interact in New York. I don't know if my music will translate in this area. I have no idea. I'm invited to this open mic, one of the first events, since the pandemic and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of people there because people were itching to get outside, and I go up there and I perform Trust the Process, and it was the most exhilarating experience in the world. So I got like a really warm welcome into New York, which was fantastic. And I loved it, all that stuff. So I was super excited, super hungry. But then after that, definitely is when I started to see some of the cracks in the scene, where there was a lot of payola, like pay to play, pay to perform and all that stuff, for platforms that didn't really have much to offer. But at the time, I was new to New York, so I was like, okay, this is how it should be. I guess it needs to be done, so I guess I'll do it. So I did do a lot of that. I'm not unthankful for those opportunities because it got me here. I'm never regretful of any decision I've ever made because I trusted the process. So you see where I'm going with it. There's a process and method to the madness. I just knew that a step forward is a step forward. Whether it was a step forward that hurt, I can learn from it. If it was a step forward that was good, I can learn from it and replicate it. And I trusted that process, that eventually I would end up in a room with someone like these people, Mike Loco and Migs, because I met them like a little over a year ago. Yeah, I know they're but I met them over a little over a year ago. One of my good friends, Key Story, who's also an amazing artist. Yes. Yes. Oh, you were there? I was there.
I was the one wearing all black, dying, sweating to death, bouncing around with the camera. That was me.
That was you?
That was me.
Oh, yeah. So I was there. I saw you then. That's so cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, obviously we didn't know each other, but that's so cool.
You know Richard Picasso? He's one of the people I mentioned.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard the Nia. Yes. But yeah, so... very good friend, very talented artist, Key Story, had a show, at Mercury Lounge. It's going to be her first headlining show. We've always rolled in the same circle and stuff like that because we take care of our own. That's just what you do. We're family over here. So she was like, oh, I need people to fill this bill. Would you be open to fill the bill? And I'm like, yes, like in Mercury Lounge, like, that was one of my bigger performances at the time. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I locked in, and Lady Bree was actually the one that was on the bill. And so I met Lady Bree in the green room, and then this big dude, Mike Loco, shows up. And then that dude with the green hair, Migs, walks into the room, and I'm like, who the hell are these people? And I felt such a natural connection to them. You can see the fire, you can see the passion, you can see the care, the desire, the teamwork, the family, and that is energy you can't replicate. So I stayed very close to them for like the following year, and then I got to support Migs on a number of shows. We became
a couple of songs with him too, right?
Yeah, we haven't done songs together yet. Is the key word there. Definitely want to get some songs going, and I'm really excited for that because I think our two styles would collaborate very, very well. But I got to support him on a couple of shows, and Bar Frito was one of the biggest ones on the first Wasted show. Yeah, that was where the first Wasted show was, and it was a sold out crowd. So I'm super thankful for that opportunity. And from there, it started to open the conversation to join the team, because we all, again, like, it just felt natural. It felt like a natural fit. And when something feels natural and you don't really have to think about it, because I'm an overthinker. Yeah. When I don't have to think about why this feels right, it's just right. So it opened the conversation, and I've been with MLM for like officially with MLM for the past 6 months, but Loco has treated me like family well before that, and I'm grateful for that for sure. Yeah.
So how about you introduce Trust the Process for us so we can play it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So this is Trust the Process by myself, Knowte, Knowte. We all have a process in this world and a goal we want to achieve. And sometimes we can try to force the change we want to see and bang our head against the wall thinking that we can force that to happen. But sometimes you got to be willing to play that long game, trust the process, and trust that you're doing the right thing. So this is what this song is about.
I love the meaning behind it. Let's get this. This is Welcome to the Rawrrzone on Elgin Sound Radio, Pulso 82.3 FM, and of course, www.rawrzonenYC.com. Let's get to this.
Oh, you start demanding all that shit you sending. I just can't understand why you ever want to blend it. I'm not rapping, I'm your fire bending. So when that guy distracts my words in heaven, so I'm a second. Trust nobody but my breath and place your bets in. I got the odds stacks. I'm addicted to success, I just read that. The time it took you to make a move, I did 3 that. I can't get comfortable, I don't know how to read that. Cause I can't just excel, I got the double excel. But I graduated, got no celebration to tell. I don't have any time to dwell, I'm a bag of the hell. These bars the only time that I ever sit with myself. So don't hit me up unless you talking business. Then just dip it between cocky and confident, know that there's a difference. I can back it up when you survive by inches. When you talk a big game, know that I was there to witness your die. It's either this or I die, so don't act so surprised. It's in your plan, I can make it in 5. I can't ignore all the signs, I'm like you, I'm not blind. When presented with facts, I don't cover my eyes.
The process, the process, the process, 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 the process, the process, the process, process, process.
I tried to, but I'm impatient. Already went through almost all my savings. I was taking man for this, so I'm not changing. Ironic, cause I don't fit in, I'm different, afflicted within. I'm itching, ambition, fixed on the mission. Who I trust to make decisions is me, my intuition. You say rappers think injustice, cause I study how they did it, the greats. And so that is where I'm sitting, but the time is ticking. 6:30 hands down, no one can meet my limit. So they better double the effort, but they try to double the network. I'm ready to push it and triple and double the network. Every career don't have this verse. I would tell you the perks, but this life is a curse. I don't know this works, you wanna know what hurts. You don't even know the half of it. You could put your all into a track and be where you're at again. While someone who doesn't care could just do it all an accident. And you start to wonder why you don't just give a rap, but then you gotta trust
the process, the process, the process, 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 the process, the process, the process, 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 the process, the process, the process, 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 the process, the process, the process, process, process.
Okay. Look at that clean ass video over
That's right.
Yo, we here. This is Welcome to the Rawrrzone on Elgin Sound Radio and Pulso 82.3 FM. And if you feel like you're seeing this somewhere else, clearly it's not our platform. But we here with the one and only, the man himself, Knowte, in the motherfucking building. So we did touch upon, you did go to audio engineering school,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And as an independent artist, how has that helped you in progressing music?
It's helped me a lot early on, because this independent scene, just like any business, you gotta be willing if you want to progress, you got to be willing to look at yourself as a small business owner. And I realized that is that as a small business owner, my product being my music and my product being me, there has to be ways in which I can learn either A, how to minimize costs to know how to do it myself so I can invest in other things, or B, learn how to make sure that for the vision that I want, that I translate that properly to an engineer that can do it better than I. Yeah. So early on, I didn't have a lot of money for an engineer. I was a broke college student. So I had to mix and master a lot of my own stuff. So it's helped me a lot in that aspect. And the best part about it is that there have been opportunities where I have gotten the chance to work with other producers or other mixing engineers and stuff like that, or even when I'm in the studio. And I can assist and help in the session in ways that ensure that the product that I'm trying to create comes out the way it should, while still remaining collaborative. I'm extremely collaborative individual, but that audio degree, although it put me into a ton of debt, I'm thankful I did it because it's helped me in my music career a ton, and in other ways that, you know, I can't even really describe. Like, it's just been, it was a good decision in the long run, and it helped me network too. I was networking with a lot of other people like myself who were artists that were doing the audio degree because they wanted to learn how to invest in themselves as well. So I was collaborating with a lot of artists. I was collaborating with a lot of, you know, aspiring producers, aspiring musicians and stuff like that. So I got to live basically in a studio for free for 4 years. So it was a great decision. I got to really hone the craft and know what a studio session should be run like. So as I transitioned professionally out of school, I was able to essentially close that gap that other artists might have, you know?
Yeah. Question.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like, I'm not trying to get into your personal, but you mentioned the debt thing.
Yes.
You do realize if you work in certain fields, you can potentially have that erased.
Yeah. No, I've heard of that, and one of my professors did that. And it's just, it's not something for me. That's not a sacrifice I'm willing to do. You know, like most artists, most independent artists, you have your, you know, day job hustle. I think Lady Bree touched on it a little earlier, where it's like, you know, Batman.
Depending
on
your day job hustle, right? I'm not saying what you do in music.
Yeah.
What you do with your day job or the type of day job you have. Can essentially wipe out all your debt.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in learning more about it. The job that I have now, I work in engineering as like a compliance engineer, and it allows me to work remotely. So I can essentially,
a city type of job, or
not city. It's a private company. So
I'm gonna look at what I can find for you.
Hey, if I can erase my debt, hey, that is almost $1,000 more a month I can invest in my music.
Listen, what they told me, because I paid through the entire pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Up until April of this year, because they transferred my loan, and I was so mad because the new service borrower that I had put me in one bank account negative $400.
Yeah.
Because they originally told me my payments were going to be $88, and I filled out the right paperwork.
Nope. And they switched up on you last minute.
They put the fucking taxes on that shit. Oh, you got paid $364.
Yeah.
No, suck my dick.
Yeah.
So I was given a resource from my boss because I work as a, like, if you work for the community, you're not a public servant.
Yeah, but there's certain jobs, that essentially, if you work there for an X amount of time,
I get like certain amount.
It's absolved.
Hours.
Yeah.
Like right now, they say I pay $0 a month. It's gonna go like that until it's done. Yeah. You
get forgiven and it's absolved. So.
And you should look into that because college sucks. Like, college is great for the experience.
100%.
Like, I got fucked up. I went on adventures. I've had hangover moments, and I still got a 3.8 in
Oh, good for
my
you.
bachelor's, and I got a 4.0 in my master's. So,
Good for
but the
you.
master's I got to do from home.
That's good.
So then I just made. I fucked all this shit up.
I had a little bit different of a college experience because I was, you know, I was just locked into the studio. Like I didn't really go to parties that much. I didn't do anything crazy. I went to class, and then if I wasn't in class, I was in the studio. If I wasn't in the studio, I was with my girlfriend, and if I wasn't with my girlfriend, I was working. Yeah. Like I was just so dialed in. It was either music, school, or girl. That was it.
I did all of that. I just still made time.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. So now that you're working with MLM, what have you learned so far? Being a part of the team.
I've learned, because I'm also very much a reserved individual, what you sort of see here with the painted nails, the bright red, and all that stuff. Thank you so much. This is a new confidence that I've had. I've learned that you really got to carry yourself, not even like the part, because that means you're playing something you're not, but you got to carry yourself like you are it. Like you should be the one with the center of attention in the room. Not with a sense of like superiority over anyone, because you don't want to be an a-hole, but with a sense of, you know what, I've earned my spot here, and you can't take that away from me, sort of attitude. That's one of definitely the biggest things I've learned thus far, because as I was brought on, and even before I was brought on officially, I was kicking around with Miggs a lot, and just seeing the way he walked into certain rooms and sort of attention that he was able to grab, I was like, you know what? I want to walk in with that sort of confidence. I want to walk in like, you know what? I do belong here. Because the majority of my life, like we've touched on, there have been places I don't belong. And I didn't realize how much I carried that chip on my shoulder. And although that chip on my shoulder has inspired what I think is great music, what has inspired great opportunities and performances. Yeah. That chip on my shoulder, I think it doesn't necessarily need to be a thing of the past, but it needs to be something that I accept and move forward from. And that's one of definitely the biggest things I've learned. So I'm experimenting a lot more in my sound from a confident standpoint. And I'm definitely placing myself in rooms with a lot more confidence of, you can't tell me I don't belong here.
So how long it took you to get those sea legs? Have that confidence.
It's an ever-growing process, because as we evolve and as MLM grows and as I grow as an individual, you get into bigger and bigger rooms. And sometimes you could be standing next to somebody who's, worked on some crazy record that went on to win some sort of Grammy or accolade or whatever, but you're still in the same room. So it's constantly like checking yourself, like, okay, you may have done this accolade, but I'm in the same room with you. That means I do belong here. I've earned my way to be here. And it's constantly sort of reminding yourself until it becomes second nature. At least for myself at this moment, it's constantly reminding myself that I did earn my spot, until it becomes second nature. So for me, it's just a constant reminder, really. It hasn't been something that has fully established, but I think as 2024 goes on, and as I continue to work with Loco and the rest of the MLM crew, it will be something that, like, I'll be a whole different breed for sure. I'm definitely still in my evolution.
You're not at Super Saiyan Broly yet.
I'm not. I got the big hair, but it ain't golden just yet. Thank you.
So I got my last couple of questions.
Yeah.
And then we can finally do the photo shoot.
Hell yeah.
What was it like to, like, because we're not, we talk about you being the alternative life, but you did some big things.
Yeah.
We're not going to forget that. You opened for Davey. You opened for Cameron. What the fuck was that like?
It was really, really cool, because I did an artist showcase for this promoter at the time, and I didn't end up winning. The winning spot went to some Justin Bieber wannabe, so he ended up like taking his shirt off, and all the girls swoon, and I guess that was a thing. But the second place person was Key Story. That's where I met her, was that artist showcase. But nonetheless, I did that artist showcase. They really rocked with me. They saw that I had a really good backing in Hartford, because it was at the Webster in Hartford. And so they were like, hey, you know, we're doing this show for Cameron on the big stage. You know, we rocked with your performance. You didn't win, but you're kind of like the people's choice in a way. Like we personally rocked with you.
One is because he showed it that.
Basically. So exactly. So they were like, yo, you know, would you be open to this opportunity? I was like, I don't know if my music will translate, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. No matter what, like I'm gonna go for it. And that's always been my attitude, is if you give me an opportunity, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to take it because I love the challenge. I love being able to find somebody at the show who has their arms crossed and sort of judging you and eyeing you up and down and sizing you up, and have them go from this to this where they're unfolded, so they're open to it, to now their hand is up and they're rocking with it. So that was the opportunity with the Cameron show. Is I went up there, I opened. First off, Cameron was like hours late, so the DJ had to spin for like hours.
Whatever. What else is new?
So he was like hours late, but you know, I went on. I put my all into it, and the amount of people that just went up to me after I came off the stage and was like, "Yo, I really rock with you." Like there was one person that even said, like, I came for Cameron, but like I'm good. Like I can go, like if he doesn't show up in the next like half hour, like your performance did it for me. Like I'm good. And that was just such a gratifying feeling. It was so exciting.
That's great. And I love that too, because I would probably be more satisfied watching you perform the Cameron.
Thank you.
But if I paid money for
Cameron, you should. Yeah, he was super late. I think they had to pay some like extra fees to the venue because they ran over time. And stuff like that. So he was super late. The Dave East opportunity was also similar vein, same promoter, that whole stuff. They liked what I did with the Cameron show. It was some time since last I worked with them. They saw me evolving as an artist. So they're like, I know you don't live in Hartford anymore, but like, could you still come out? And I was like, yeah, of course. So then I came out, I did that show. I got to meet Dave East after the show, which was super cool. Got to talk with him, and, you know, he's just a really down to earth kind of guy, which you realize that like these people, they may feel bigger than life, but like they are normal people just like us that were once in our shoes. So he was, you know, very open and welcoming to the fact that like, cause I walked up to him, I was like, you know, like I opened for you, da da da. He's like, oh, you did? He's like, oh, how'd it go? Like he was chatting me up. He's like, yo, keep going, da da da. And yeah, it was just a really, really cool experience from top to bottom to support these artists and gain fans in rooms that you wouldn't really expect me to gain fans from, because I'm more of an alternative, you know, alternative guy.
But see, you make it for us, like, this is the year, I've always said, this is the era where the oddballs succeed.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we could play Pretty Fly for a white guy somewhere and we'd be like right now. But it's good. Like, I love traditional hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll listen to it. But I grew up as a rocker kid.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't allowed to listen to hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I wasn't allowed to listen to rock or watch wrestling, but I had to do that shit on the road. So to hear now that, in a way, both of my world are integrated into one, it's such a great feeling to those that like the rock music. But they get discriminated against because they like hip hop too.
Yeah, no, it's really cool because you see that, you know, and this was one of the, from my standpoint, I find this really cool. I know a lot of tried and true hip hop heads are not so happy with this statistic, but I think, what was it, last year was the first time hip hop had a decline in popularity since like its inception.
But it's crazy, right? Because last year was the 50th anniversary of
yes,
hip-hop.
it was the 50th anniversary, so you got to respect the history and all that stuff and all the accolades and accomplishments and cultural phenomenon that became a worldwide phenomenon. You definitely got to respect all that. But at the same time, and this is what happens, you know, a genre rises and a genre falls or settles. What I'm noticing is that hip hop isn't gone, or
the essence you mean.
Yeah, the essence of hip hop isn't gone or being eradicated or anything of that. It's just showing in a different form. And I'm noticing that a lot of these artists, like you look at like Lil Uzi, people would see him as a hip hop artist, but he's like, nah, I'm a rock star. He would always say, I'm a rock star. That's who I am. And he presents himself like a rock artist, but he's hip hop primarily. And
Lil Uzi got my respect for the Nakamura song.
Yeah, no, he's one of the main ones that definitely is pushing it towards that way. And then even if in the sound it's not entirely rock, in the presentation it is. So you look at somebody like Doja, like she dresses extremely alternative from time to time, and like so the rock element, the where hip hop is going, it's transitioning and combining with other genres, and people are really, I think they're hungry for it.
But I also feel like it's going back to roots, right?
Yeah.
When I say by roots, like I took a music appreciation course back in college a long time ago, and they said the original basis of rap came from rock and roll.
100%.
A lot of the music we heard was taken from samples of rock and roll music.
100%, yeah.
And because of that, they don't want the hip hop era does not want to recognize that portion of it.
But they need to, because like Run DMC, like they did a bunch of rock. Yeah, they did a bunch of rock records, and like there's a bunch of hip hop artists who are inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like it
when Eminem made it a couple of years ago, I'm not gonna lie, I stand out. I fucking geeked the
yeah.
I don't understand why they put Mariah Carey though.
Yeah. I didn't pay too much attention to that. I once I saw M was there, I was like, okay, this is legit. Yeah.
Like I was looking at the lineup, and no lie, like I'm happy Biggie made it last year. Like once those classics hit the 25 years, it's really well. It's really great to see them actually get the recognition they deserve.
100%.
But I still don't get why the fuck Mariah Carey got into that stuff.
Yeah, that's a weird.
Like, who did you sleep with, Mariah?
Oh no!
Like, what did you do, bro? Like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from her besides every December when All I Want for Christmas plays over and over and over again.
I really feel like this year, for some reason, that shit started way before December.
Oh, it did. I was returning some stuff from Amazon, at a store in the mall in like October. It wasn't even Halloween yet. And I'm standing in line waiting to hand in, the thing so I can get my return code and all that stuff. And all of a sudden I hear All I Want for Christmas. And I'm like, it's not even Halloween. I took a video of it. I posted on my Instagram story. Yeah.
I was so annoyed with that. I'm like, I never hated hearing that song so much than I did this year.
It was terrible. Yeah.
It was so bad. I like the alternate versions of it that was from everyone else because they were softer. But every time I heard that one from Mariah Carey,
it's overplayed now. It's overplayed.
I cringed so bad. I was like, why are we doing this? Like, and then Christmas ended so fast.
Yeah, December definitely came and went, and unfortunately, I was sick all of Christmas, so like that was terrible.
Oh, don't feel bad. So was I.
Yeah.
I got better right in time for New Year's.
Literally.
And then I made myself sick.
Oh, you got sick again? That sucks.
I mean, I was working in a club 4 nights straight.
Oh, so yeah.
Every time someone was like, "Yo, you want to go smoke a joint?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm in a dress.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I woke up January 3rd.
Yeah. Out. Yeah. And Christmas definitely came and went. I was sick the whole time. It was a terrible experience.
It was.
But what I did like is that it forced me to rest. It forced, because I'm such a workaholic. Like I will just keep going and going and going and going. So it forced me to rest and get and
everyone to
yeah.
You got sick.
Yeah.
I got sick at the same time. And I was in bed.
It was going around. Like,
they all thought I died. Like I wasn't picking up my phone for nobody. I was like,
yeah.
I was him.
Just out cold.
I was done. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was worse than getting high.
Yeah.
I couldn't even smoke. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
But going back to you, right? 'Cause
Yes.
we're reaching the end of the time.
100%.
I want to go into your support system.
Mhm.
I want to talk about the motivation videos you
Yeah.
made, and I want to talk about the Worthy family.
Yeah.
Where did all of that come from?
So, the worthy part, I guess I need to touch on kind of where my name came from. So my name is Knowte, spelled Knowte. And that sort of comes from a play on words, actually from my mom suggested that I name myself that. I changed the spelling. But it comes from a play on words of knowing more or finding more through music. So you take the Know from know, then add the TE from note, the regular music, and combine it, you get note. And then I remember I was at a lunch table in high school, and they were like, "Oh, you should call yourself like noteworthy, or like someone that's noteworthy." And I was like, "You know what? Like, I really, really like that." So I made my Instagram handle that and was like, "Okay, I'll be noteworthy. I'll go by Note for all my music, but on Instagram, it's catchy, it's easy to remember. Noteworthy, easy to remember." Yeah. And then when I was a junior in college, I was seeing all these motivational videos on Mondays, Motivational Monday. And I realized, like, okay, that's great. Start the week off with some good energy. But what about when you are halfway through the week and you have another half to go? Like, who's picking you up then? So I was like, you know what? I think I want to do Wednesday motivations or midweek motivations that help inspire people to finish out the rest of their work week, or finish out the rest. Exactly. And so I put that out, and I realized I got such a great response. People really needed it. And I have a core value of family. Family is the biggest thing to me, which is why I really enjoy being part of MLM, because that's such a core value as well. And so I never wanted to see the people who rock with what I do as supporters or fans that make them feel kind of here. I want you to feel part of the journey, because the only way I'm able to do what I do is because you are coming out and supporting and listening and all that stuff. And so I always treated them as family. And Worthy is all about knowing your worth. That was something I struggled with. So as somebody whose main goal is to make people feel at home, make people feel like they have a community or a family they can go to, I wanted to remind them constantly that they're worthy. They have worth no matter what. No matter what someone tells you, you have worth inherently because you're a human being on this earth. And if you don't have family out there, you have family here. So you are part of the Worthy family, and that's sort of where that all came from. And I love each and every one of them, and very thankful that they feel like they're part of this bigger community, because that's been the goal from day one. So
love it. So there's not many artists, and I've spoken with Mike about this literally right before we actually did this interview, that can take their following and turn it into something tangible. And when I talk about tangible, I'm not only just talking about how many heads you bring in your venue, right? Because I love the strategy he's playing for all of you guys, but you're not overperforming, because that's the problem we have in today's independent scene, is the oversaturation of people performing. And then also the cockiness about it. I think if I could perform at any venue in New York, I could perform anywhere. You could perform anywhere. But if you don't bring the following, what are you making of this?
Exactly.
What are you doing?
Yes.
But with you guys, and you particularly, because I'd be creeping on your Instagram, you not only cultivated people to engage with your post, you've given them a outlet to talk.
Yeah.
you made their voices heard. So when you do decide to perform, you will have all those heads coming in.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And it's not seen often.
Yeah.
You know, your connection with your audience is, in my opinion, is the most important thing to an artist, right?
100%.
You've learned to leverage the social media and real life and make it something for you.
Yeah. Thank you. No, I appreciate that. Like I said, that's been the goal from day one, and my goal from here out is to just make the family bigger. The more the merrier. The more voices, the more people, the more experiences, the more backgrounds we can have in this family that we're growing. Like that would be amazing, essentially.
My final question. So
Yeah.
several EPs, 4 albums. Yes, I did my research. What's next for you?
More records. I'm working on a bunch of songs as we speak, actually. I have a bunch of demos that I've been putting together. Loco and MLM, they'll be helping me sort of dissect and really elevate them from a production standpoint and capitalize on some of the things I've set up in the past coming into MLM. So a lot of new music, a lot of new records. And what I'm really excited about is more performance opportunities in 2024 because we hit like a super major milestone when we performed the Mercury Lounge back in November of last year, where I performed with a full band for the first time. Yeah, it was the greatest thing in the world, and I will never go back. It is such a fantastic experience because it pulled everything that we've been building this whole time into one moment and accepting that, like, you know what, I'm more than just hip hop. Like, to quote Lil Uzi, like, I'm a rock star. Like, that's what we're gonna do from here. That's what we're gonna do from here on out. And that's what I'm super excited about, is to take everything we've learned and just capitalize on it to the umpteenth degree. So
there's a mosh pit. Doing a crowd dive.
Yo, that literally on my bucket list is a crowd dive. Like that is a performance bucket list item for me.
That is something just as a whole I've always wanted to be a part of. See someone I know do a crowd dive, and I'm like,
yeah. I used to crowd surf all the time when I was in high school, and I was much smaller. I used to crowd surf all the time. I'm sitting at a cool 180. Back in high school, it was like 140. So like people were able to like throw me up. Now, if I jump into the crowd, they're gonna catch me. They have no choice. But
but I feel like that's a dull way, because when we're in high school, we all, I mean, not except me, I was a fat little fuck. You know, I was weighing like 200 pounds. I'm down to 220 right now, bro. You look like, you're good. You're still a child. And it looked like it had I bet you if you showed me a former photo of you, it doesn't look like anything changed. So you could go crowd that. No.
Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna make it happen. That's for sure up there.
Not like the Mean Girls thing where they fall.
Or they jump. No, I gotta jump in.
Yeah, you gotta jump in.
Yeah.
You gotta go careful with your head, but jump in.
Nah, it's gonna happen. It's literally like been on my list. I know my fiance would not be thrilled for me because she always gets nervous when I do certain dangerous things. I know my mom would be like, "What are you doing?" But honestly, like, that's what makes a show. Like, that's what makes a show. So it's on my list. I'm gonna make it happen.
Man, I'm actually sad this is all over. Like, I spent like the last 3 weeks preparing for this, and now I'm so sad that it's over. But thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad I got to hear your story. I'm so glad I got to hear Meg's story and Lady Bree. So shout out to all of you guys. If you are watching this, I hope you enjoyed our MLM Takeover. If we had enough time in the day, we probably would have interviewed Mike Loco, but he probably looking tired right now, so go save him for another time. Plus, I would have to do my research because I found out some things today I didn't know.
Yeah, he got a lot of stories. You got a lot of research.
No, I know. I actually tried doing research on him when he wanted to start talking and working with me.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn, there's too much information.
You need an encyclopedia just for him.
I'm gonna take his word for what he's saying right now. That's too much. But for the masses at home and the 50,000 people that in the arena that'll be watching us, where can they find you?
You can find me on all social media platforms at Knowte_worthy, KNOWTE_worthy. I also worked hard making myself marketable on Google, so you can literally just Google my name, and I'm one of the first things that pop up. So KNOWTE, all streaming services, anywhere you can get music, download music, play music, I'm there, and I hope to see you there.
So, guys, it's your homegirl Ivy. Remember, catch us everywhere, www.rawrzonenyc.com. Please follow the gang at MLM Entertainment. They're always posting. They're always on the move. With SmackDown on SmackDown, courtesy of Ramblemania Show. Catch us on Elegant Sound Radio. Catch us on Pulse 82.3 FM. We are powered by Bold and Luscious Cosmetics and Just Blaze Organic Hemp. If you see us anywhere else, it's a motherfucking lie. But we're going to end this night with Unchecked. This is Welcome to the Rawrrzone. Welcome back and welcome to 2024.
Don't you ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. Not until the day that I'm dead. I'll rest, don't you know everything I said means less. Don't you ever leave me unchecked. The silence, I'm used to the noise, I'm used to the violence, I'm used to the rise, I'm used to the dying. I'm used to the quiet, you used to be quiet, you need to be quiet. I'm trying to think, you said it's just stop and trust my instincts. My heart and my mind, no longer mistakes. I'm afraid if I do this to be gone in a blink. Cause that's what happens when you're no longer there. Yeah, I want you to stop, but when you stop I am scared. I've gotten used to the madness, that's how I know that you care and that you truly see me. So please, don't you ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. Not until the day that I'm dead. I'll rest, don't you know everything I say means less. Don't you ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. When I go to sleep in my bed, I'll rest. Don't you know it's stuck in my head means less. Don't you ever leave me paradise, that fate to die for the bed inside. All of my faults feel satisfied. Reruns my mind, speak one at a time. I'm fine, the voices that cry. They somebody through the distance. I can't trust me, who you to sit in and tell me I'm wrong. Nigga, but choose to crazy, nigga, but choose to hurt. If I knew it works, you don't think I would've do that first. I've searched your earth, I've versed this work. You can sit and complain and reverse the curse and return to merge. It's the best version you've earned, deserved. It's your turn to turn the tables. Yeah, I'm unstable, so you best make sure these shot is fake. They told my pride, the reason to die. I wanted to die, yeah, I tried. Looked in the sky, now I wanted mine. I wanted to fly, yeah, I tried. You get it clear, the bag is the mirror, tried to be nice, yeah, I tried. Yeah, I've tried, yeah, I've tried to say my goodbyes. So don't leave me unchecked, unrest and unwell. Upset, obsessed, you can't tell. At least I hope I won't, I can't fail. Cause if I do, it's true, I'll raise hell. So don't ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. Not until the